All right, Saggy, let's see what's going on with you guys. Sagittarius. We're going to go into the first week of August, and we're going to see what those energies are, Spirit. First week of August for Sag, please. Situation. I have Justice in reverse. And what else do I have in reverse? The Six of Swords in reverse. What? Yeah, you are going back to something. Let's talk about this. And the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. For a lot of you, I feel like your ex or somebody came back to you, or you're trying to work something out. For those of you who were getting a separation or a divorce, it feels like maybe perhaps you put it on hold, like a freeze, because you're kind of going back to a storm. Let me explain. Justice is in reverse. Now, either that's your case, or the other case is something unfair is happening to you. There is no justice in what's going on. This is like karma gone wrong, but karma will eventually get to where it needs to be to find justice for you. And the Six of Swords in reverse, it's like you're forced to go back to something chaotic, something crazy. Now, those of you who were getting a separation or divorce, you put it on pause or you put it on hold. And you went back to that crazy situation. The Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck is telling me that you're having an honest conversation here with somebody. You guys you're keeping it real. You're putting it all out there. Be like, look, we reached this point because of XYZ. Yeah, there might have been an affair. But it's not about the affair. It's about what led to the affair. Others of you, it could be the change in both of your temperaments, that you were both, drifting apart because you weren't evolving the same way. Whatever the case is, there's a discussion here. Now let's continue and see what's going on. For those of you, this resonates with, sorry, but maybe it's a good thing. Let's see what's going on. What's coming in towards Sag, please? The Star. Well, yeah. The Devil. 4 cards. 3 major arcanas. So there is some epic life change or transition or massive situation where the universe, your angel guides, your spirit guides are all saying, all hands on deck. We all got to crowd around Sag right now because it could go either way. See, you're trying to stay optimistic and hopeful, the Star card, but you're dealing with something very toxic. The toxicity can come in many forms. The Devil. The Devil is fear, insecurity. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. Codependency. Staying in abusive relationships because you'd rather be in that than single. Going back because you don't know any better. Dealing with somebody that's toxic because they're a narcissist and they've manipulated you. All your reasons, whatever reasons. Devil also refers to looping again into the same situation, expecting different results, being optimistic and hopeful with the Star card. You don't want to repeat a pattern. Unless maybe you do, and so you learn. The bottom of the deck is showing me judgment. You're making one final assessment, one final judgment call, and then that's that. Whatever you decide. What is the surprise of the week here for my Sag, please? That's too many, Spirit. Narrow it. Thank you. Ask and you shall receive, I guess. Look, more major arcanas. All hands on deck for you this week. The Fool. Aquarius energy. You're going to leave. Even though you're holding on to this person, this situation, this dynamic, and yes, this applies to a friendship. This applies to a career. This applies to a job that you've put, your sweat, blood, and tears in it, or it's been a very long time. You're leaving. You don't care what's lined up. You don't care if you're going to be single anymore. So I guess you're starting to realize toxic is toxic. Four of Pentacles, but you're still holding on to something. Some of you guys are even trying to save a coin or money. I don't know. You're expecting some sort of fallout. Five of Swords. Wow. You're making all kinds of sacrifices. You're going back and forth, though. Let's continue and see what the advice is. We're going to clarify this in a minute anyway, so let's hang in there. See what the advice is for Sagittarius, please. Ace of Wands. Passionate new beginning. You have this opportunity. If you have not met somebody new yet, you're about to. And when I have aces in my advice, I'm borderline always yelling at anybody listening to me because I'm saying the universe is giving you a segue out. The universe is handing you a bone. The universe is handing you an opportunity, but opportunities still have to be hustled. What you make of them is what you will. You can't just leave it there hanging. Eight of Swords. Are you truly stuck? Not really. This talks about getting unstuck. It's like being in jail, but the door is open. Why aren't you walking out? I don't know. I haven't been out there in like 20 years. I don't know what it's like out there. I have kids. I have this. I have that. I have bills. I have blah, blah, blah. You're not stuck. It's a choice. And not making a choice is a choice. It's towers. It's devils. It's a bunch of shitty shit. It's Nine of Swords. It's Ten of Swords. It's fucked up stuff. You don't want that. Get yourself unstuck with this new project or passionate new beginning. I get it. Blocks, obstacles, issues, fighting, arguing. Just be honest with whoever this is. Maybe they're going through the same thing. What is the outcome of the week here for Sagittarius, please? Wow. So, if you've been one of those people, and this isn't a lot of you, this is like 1 or 2% of you in this scenario, you are going through a separation, a divorce, you met somebody else, you had this thing that you were developing with a new person, you might have broke it up with the new person, you reconsider going back to the ex. There's that too on here on the table. Kind of feel like I got to read for you too. It's not the bulk of the reading, but I know it's somebody out there. And the reason I say that is because your outcome is the Hermit and the Two of Cups. There's somebody here that loves you and you love them back. This is soulmate connection. But this is also probably telling me that, I don't know, maybe you haven't discussed it because the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck says you guys kind of cut off communication. And now you're another major arcana, the Hermit. You're taking a step back to make a wise decision on this person. Love is love. Whoever you're in love with, they have the same feelings as you do. It would be a sad thing to let it go. This is probably why you also have the Ace of Wands in your advice. All right, let me see what's going on. I'm going to start clarifying these cards. And see what's going on. There will be an extended. That link is in description. And it will also be in members and fire signs as well. So if you're another fire sign listening, it will be in your monthly subscription. Six of Swords in reverse and Justice in reverse. For those of you who don't know what the extended sounds like, we go into your person, it's strictly love. What they're thinking, feeling, actions towards you, etc. That line of questioning. Two of Wands, you're ready to rock and roll and leave. This thing that's been unfair, this divorce or separation that's been hanging on by a thread, this thing that you keep going back to, I think you're officially done. It's kind of one of those things where you say to yourself, well, I really do need my stability, my structure. Look at this, the King and Queen of Pentacles. But I think that this is like more about getting your inner peace. Okay? Now let's see what the Devil and the Stars talking about. You did have an ending with somebody, but you're hoping that against all odds, it will work itself out, because there it is. You stop talking to them and then you start waiting for them. This is also one of those things why you feel things are unfair. The Fool. What is the Fool? I think you're thinking about leaving because you're saying to yourself, either we're going to have a reconciliation or I need to leave so I can heal. Healing is feeling. But you're also considering reconciling with somebody here too. You are resisting something or someone. And you are thinking about moving it along. There's definitely a third party or a third energy. Even if you're not engaging in the third energy, that third energy is part of your issue. Ace of Wands and Eight of Swords here for Sag. So Spirit's like, go with the passionate new beginning or this new project. Eight of Wands. And the Hierophant in reverse. Interesting. In the World. Some of you, yes, a commitment that you had or a marriage is kind of over. It's like hanging by a thread. It's like the world done. And the Hierophant is in reverse. It's kind of like broken. That's why Spirit's like, well, what are you doing now? You're free to go. Ace of Wands. Take action. Take action. Like now. Like as in literally this week. As in literally like you're hearing my video this week. Take action. Go back and forth here with somebody. You're not stuck. Get yourself unstuck from this. Get untethered. Call it a wrap so you can have a solid new beginning. Tie this up with a bow. Say goodbye and start this new chapter. Ace of Pentacles, which is solid, by the way. The Hermit and the Two of Cups. I'm sure you've heard how we have this whole Lionsgate thing that's open, that the intentions you put forward this week are the intentions you start to rock and roll with throughout the year. Moreover, in I think like decades, we finally have the North Node and the South Node flipping. The opposite of Aquarius and Leo, they flip. North Node is our true north, what we're supposed to lean into. South Node is like those challenges, things that we need to be aware of. Now they're flipping. So this is kind of like flipping your world upside down. It's flipping the world upside down for the whole collective. But because Jupiter is gracing Leo, fellow fire sign, it is also meant to help all other fire signs. In fact, this is meant to bring in and usher in an era of air and fire. The reason I tell you this stuff is because all these new things that is happening to you and the collective, it's unfamiliar territory. And I'm looking at your Eight of Swords in your advice, and it's saying it's okay to break free because this is a new life. This is a new chapter. It is unfamiliar, but it is okay. Ten of Swords is telling me you did have an ending. And you're sitting here stressing and having sleepless nights over it. So, and you've retracted your energy. You're going within. You're trying to make some wise decision because you want your decision based on something that's going to give you structure, stability, earthiness, groundedness. What's the outcome of that? Success. This person is in their head right now thinking what to do. And there it is. New love that's trying to come in. Not the first week of August, but that's definitely on its way in. The balance of the month. All right, let's see what we're going to talk about in the extended for love. For my Saggy, please. We layered tarot over this too, so we can see what other messages the love gods want to tell you. You know this is going to reflect your not only your subconscious, but what Spirit sees. Wedding. Well, I'll say trust. I said the same thing. You got to trust the process. This is why Spirit's like saying, I'm giving you new stuff, friends. Go that route. Go that way. All right, we'll see more which cards actually fall out on these two, plus your person or situation, or see what else is coming in for you guys. And we'll do that. All right, everybody else, I'll see you on the next video.